So last week I attended the launch of the Ford Fiesta, which happens to be the top selling car in Britain. But what's in fourth place is this guy, which is the Nissan Qashqai. Cars.co.za actually calls it a cash cow, which made me chuckle out loud, I have to tell you. The reason is because they've sold more than 30,000 units in South Africa since it launched back in 2007. And it remains such a popular car. But why? Well, I will tell you. You know, it's just got a winning recipe, especially for families and, you know, people with kids, I just imagine. But it's practical, it's good value for money, you know, it's fuel efficient, and it's not like a complete slowpoke, you know. Or slow coach. Do you know the difference? I googled that word the other day because I've always said slowpoke, and then someone said slow coach, and I was like, hey, slow coach does make more sense, but apparently slowpoke is also a word, so just saying. So they facelifted the very successful Qashqai back in February this year. I'm in the top of the range 1.5 DCI Tecna, which is full of spec. And how is this roof? I think you can see it. I tried to place myself that you could see this roof, which is pretty darn impressive. I mean, it's like the whole roof. It looks very cool. I quite love it. I don't normally like a sunroof. I love it when it's raining though, because that looks cool. And you got heated seats and leather seats and whatever. The other thing that it does offer, which is new to the range, is a host of safety features like blind spot assist and forward collision warning. It's also got cross traffic alert, a whole bunch of amazing safety features, which is awesome, except that it's only available on this. It's not even available on as an option on the others. The like less of the less valuable, the cheaper, which I have a problem with, because it goes back to something like the Renault Kwid or the Datsun Go, where manufacturers know better now, and it bothers me that in order to be safe you need to be rich, and I think that's bullshit. I understand that it costs more to have this technology in the cars and therefore you have to pay more, but it's just, I don't know, it's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow for me that, do you know what I mean, just because you can't afford it, it means you don't get the safety features, and not even as an option. But apart from that, this car is fantastic. So this facelifted version, it looks better now than it ever did. It's not my best looking out of the range, or out of the segment. If you look at things like the RAV4, the Renault Kadjar, Ford EcoSport. I love the look of the Ford EcoSport. And inside you've got a new steering wheel with this flat bottom. You've got new seats, which are very comfy. And you get this fancy touchscreen, this infotainment system, only on this one. You get the obviously different on the lower spec models. So this is more intuitive now, etc., etc. So it still looks as good, if not better, obviously, than before. So this diesel engine gives you 81 kilowatts of power and 260 newton meters of torque. So it is certainly sort of powerful enough. The 1.5 DCI is only made to this 6-speed manual transmission, which is fine. And you get a really cool low fuel consumption, claimed at 4.2 liters per 100 k's. Okay, so I'm sitting on an average of 5.8, which is high. Not for this car, I mean, it's really low still, but because I've only been driving around town, stop, start, and driving like a bit of a Duis. So that's really impressive still, for the fact that the way that I drive, generally the fuel consumptions rise. So very, very good on for that. No, not oh my goodness, Nissan. We should probably cut that out, but I have a feeling my editor will put it in. So this is a car that I often recommend to friends, especially if they have families and kids, or kids on the way, because it's just renowned to be a great buy. This top of the range one will set you back 445,500 rand. If you want to go for the entry level, you're looking at just under 340,000 rand. But I feel like if you're going to get it, you're going to want to try and stretch as far up as you can into the more heavily spec'd models. Otherwise, sort of, what's the point, I think. But well, that's on you. But either way, it is strongly recommended for families and peeps who just want a bit of space, you know? We jumped, never asking why. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. Hit it, Miley. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never had the heart